Hi guys, it's Sunday the 28th of July 2019. I'm going to give you a technical analysis breakdown of some UK and US stocks. Let's get straight into it. It's Annie, aka the Noctrader, your friendly neighborhood swing trader, back again with another video. Remember to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that alert button to get alerts on all my latest videos. I've got Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at the Noctrader on all social media platforms. And if you check that description section below, you see a link to my mailing list. If you join my mailing list, you get priority access to my free training course I'm creating for beginner traders, and you'll get all the latest videos I create directly into your inbox. I've also got a Discord group that I've created for investors and traders where you can commune with other investors and traders and talk about stocks and shares and see a watch list and just talk about anything and everything related to stocks and shares. Let's get straight into it. So, before I even get started, last week was a really good week. Anyone that was in the Discord group or even follow me on Twitter would see that and even if you watch my old videos, you see that I loaded up heavy on Vodafone for a long position, and it went really well. So the first 5 I'm going to go through are the UK stocks, and the next 2 are going to be US stocks. The first one is Vodafone. Vodafone, I loaded heavy on that, and I think it was probably one of my most perfectly executed trades I've done ever, to be honest. It was a thing of beauty. So I went long on Vodafone. I think it was on the 17th. If you check my technical analysis report video, then you'll see that I actually said I was going to go long on it. I went long on it for £25 per pip, and I entered at 127, which is just here, which is pretty much just here. And I went long, and I was hoping to exit at about 136. Now what happened? It was climbing up. It was doing what I expected it to do, and then all of a sudden, it shot up. It shot up on Friday. And what was that? The reason behind that? Well, it's because Vodafone have released information that they're creating their own phone mast company that's going to be an offshore that could IPO and could be worth millions of pounds. So that they're going to create a separate entity company that will develop mobile phone masts. And just the information on that alone really got the stock price shooting up. Obviously, I can never have accounted for that, so it's kind of a bit of luck on my part because the fundamentals helped it skyrocket, but I believe it was going to still climb up to at least 136. The sad thing is that because I set a limit here, that I didn't benefit from this extra move. So I made my £225, but I could have made probably even double that if I'd not set a limit. But these things, it doesn't matter. I made my profit and I'm happy. So I made 225 on a Vodafone move. Which was really good, and everyone that was in my Discord group will see that I was talking about it for quite some time. So that's another reason to join the Discord. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about that, but that's been closed out. I'm happy with that, and moving on. Next one is AAL. So AAL I've been talking about for some time, and I've been following it. I've been following it for quite some time. I remember when it was double bottoming here, I said go long. I remember when it hit there, I said go short, and then even when it bounced off here, I thought it was going to go all the way up to the resistance line, and then make it all the way up there. But it looks like it's starting to sell off, and it sold off rapidly. And this is because I don't know the reason why, to be honest. I'm not going to lie. I don't know why it's been selling off rapidly, but all I know is that some of the major UK hedge funds are short selling this at an exorbitant rate, and a lot of times there's some information that they have that we don't have, or maybe I haven't looked into. I don't know what it is, but it's been heavily short sold, I don't know, by big hedge funds, which means that there's a lot of downward pressure on this stock. Plus, it looks like it's plateaued anyway. If you go on a weekly chart, kind of corroborates what I'm thinking about this, where I don't think it's going to climb up much more. It's flatlined, and it looks like it's going to start selling off. I feel like it's plateaued here. It kind of nearly double topped. I wouldn't exactly call it a double top because it wasn't parallel, but it looks like it's plateaued and looks like it's going to start selling off. The MACD on the weekly is downturning and about to go into negative territory, and so is the RSI. So AAL looks like it's due a short. It's already gone down a little bit, and the even on the daily chart, it looks the signs of the MACD and RSI are saying it's going to be a sell-off. Now we missed a big move to the downside on Friday, and I don't chase trades. So what I'm hoping would happen is that price kind of retraces back up to the EMA, so maybe it goes back up to like £21.50, something like that, and then I'd say it would be good for a short, because you don't want to short it here and then you spend the next 2 days in the red because it's climbing up. Remember, I've been talking about in my other videos and in my performance review video that I've got, I spoke about timing my entry, and that's something I'm really going to focus on. So I'd rather miss out on a trade than time it really badly and be in a red position for a couple of days at a time before going back into a green position. So I'm going to try and exercise that behavior here and wait for potential, because I think this is going to, it went down so much on Friday that I don't believe it's going to go down straight away again. I might be wrong, and if that's the case then I miss it, but I think it's going to come up and retrace back to at least 2150 or something like that, and then I think that would be a great place to take a short position, because as you can see here, there's like a bit of a I'd expect it to come to about here, because it has a tendency to go down then come back up, go down sharp and then come back up, and then go down sharp. So I can see it come into about here. I'm going to make this a dotted line because this is just the speculative line. You don't know where it's going to go down to, but I expect it to come down to about 2150. So when it comes up to there, that would be a great place to take a short position. So the next one I'm looking at is KAZ, another UK stock. Mainly UK stocks I'm focusing today, but those are the ones that I've seen the best opportunities in. So KAZ, another one that was on my watch list before, but then I took it off, but now I'm putting it back on. This is the 2-hour chart. Let me go to the 4-hour chart. On the 4-hour chart, it's like an ascending. It looks like an ascending triangle that it broke out one time, but then went back to form. So this line at about $6, or is it 60, 600? I don't know. At 600 is a important resistance line, because it's been resisted here, it's been resisted here, and I believe right now is a great point to short, because it's resisted here as well. I can see it'd be a great position to short down to this line again, and then see where it goes from there. The MACD, RSI all telling me short. Look, MACD curving downwards in the positive territory and curving downwards, good sign of a short, and RSI doing the same thing as well. So, and this is a great position. If you zoom in as well and you go into the, let's say go into the 1-hour chart, you'll see that it's double topped, and this is another good sign to sell it off, So I'd say this would be a great short position. Short it down to the line, make a little bit of money. As you can see here, from here to here is 17 pips, from here to here is 54. So 17, what's that, 3 to 1, something like that, probably wrong. 15, yeah, maybe that 2.5 to 1. So 2.5 to 1 risk to reward ratio, which is pretty good. Set a stop loss just above the line and just ride it down to the line here. That's how I'd make a play for this trade. Next one is IAG. IAG, covered this in the last video, but I'm going to cover it again. On the daily chart, let me go to the weekly chart first. Actually, on the weekly chart, it just looks like it's selling off, and it looks like it's going to continue selling off. It's been just ebbing and flowing, but to the downside. The 180-day simple moving average is above price and looks like it's curving down. It keeps making like couple weeks movements down, then like retracing up, couple weeks moving down, retracing up, and it looks like it's about to make its big downward movement again on the weekly. Yeah, and RSI, MACD doesn't really tell us much on the weekly. On the daily, it was in a descending channel pattern, and we actually took some trades in this a while back when it was in the descending channel pattern. But the interesting thing to note is that I did a Fibonacci retracement, and from the point at about 600 to the current base, when you do a Fibonacci retracement, this point at 472 is the 61.8 level, and when it hit that, it retraced back down. So this looks like it's a key level where it's going to retrace back down and start selling off, and it's done that. And so I would say if you go down to the 2-hour chart now, something like that, this I could say it looks kind of like a head and shoulders. It looks a bit like a head and shoulders to me. I wouldn't really like fully buy into that, but like if you really want to look at it like that, it looks like a head and shoulders. It looks like it has a shoulder here, head here, and a shoulder here. So with that information, I'd say that it's going to continue selling off and maybe come down here. So all these kind of, this is where really confluence comes in. All the information is telling me the same thing, that it's a short. It's head and shoulders on the short time frame. It's retraced to the 61.8 level on the Fibonacci. It's on the weekly chart, it's been selling off. The 180-day simple moving average on the weekly and daily chart looks like it's coming downwards, so it's all telling me to short. So everything's telling me to short. So I say this would be a great position to short. Maybe set your stop loss just above the right hand shoulder of the Fibonacci, because really it shouldn't come above the shoulder if it's a short position. So I say set stop loss maybe at 461 and short, and just see how far it goes. If anything, the place I'd say to sell off if I was being very optimistic about the short would be at its old 100% fib, so the previous low point. Or if you want to be really more ambitious, you could set it at 258, but I wouldn't set that low because you don't know what's going to do from here to here. So, but I do say I think it's a short position. I do think it's going to sell off to at least 390. And last but not least on the UK stocks is TUI. TUI is TUI, which is a travel agents company, I think, or yeah, something like that. Travel agents company. So I think it's Thomas Cook joined forces with them and became one company. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comment section below. I know you will. So on the daily chart, let's look at the daily chart. It's been descending channel pattern from May 2018 up until now, and then it broke out of the pattern recently, and now it looks like it's going long. It looks like it's a long position now. So it had the ascending channel pattern. This is kind of similar to Vodafone. It was descending for a long time, broke out to the upside, and now it's going long. So what's interesting about this is that for the most part I would have thought I'd missed this move because it's done the ascending channel pattern, it's broken out of the top. But I think this is a great place to enter because if we believe it's still bullish, I would say that this is a great place to enter because it's ebbed and flowed within the ascending channel pattern. Now it's broken up out of the upside of the ascending channel pattern, broken out, consolidated back above the old resistance as a new support. And this is a prime case of this is the place where it's going to now carry on shooting up and going up. And this would be a great place to enter because it's retraced back down to old resistance as a new support. If you enter here, pretty much your stop loss could just be above this resistance line, this support line. So you can set your stop loss as tight as 25-30 pips, and to be honest, I wouldn't. The only issue is that I wouldn't even know what the limit is. Sky's the limit, to be honest. You could set your limit as high as you want because you don't know how much it's going to climb, and that stop loss you could just raise it like slowly, and the minute you raise it about 30-40 pips, you're in the green, and then it's just to see how far this goes up. I would say based on technical analysis theory, I'd say the amount it goes up would be based on how high it's gone up from here to here. So I'd say from here to here is about 80 pips. So you'd wanna, your take profit would wanna be about 80 pips from here, from the base, from the resistance line. So I'll show you. So that 80 pips from here to here would be about something like there. So I'd put a little box here, and I'd say that would be my take profit. So you'd be risking about, let's say 30 pips if you've been safe, 25 pips to make 75 pips. So that's a 3-to-1 ratio, which is really good. As I said, 3-to-1 risk to reward ratio. I'll definitely take something like that. Now off to my US stocks. So on Friday, after I closed out my position in VOD, I found a new position that I want to take in Adient, mainly because I saw like it was a really low risk trade. Even if I'm wrong, I'm not too bothered because of how tight the stop loss was. Now Adient for you, oh, what have I done? So Adient for you observing traders, you know I took a long position in this a while back, and it was going well, and then it hit the 25 point, and then it started retracing. Then I sold off. I still made a profit, but I went from about potential £200 profit to about, I think I made about £100 profit because it started selling off. But a good thing I took my profits while I could, because while I'm happy that it came back to the 25 point, this whole time I would have been holding on to a losing position. Not a losing position, but a position that was just losing me money for like 15 days. And in that time I found other positions like Vodafone, and I capitalized on that. So anyway, it's tried to break $25 3 times unsuccessfully. If you go on the back to the daily, but I still think this stock is bullish. Why I say that is because the 180-day simple moving average has come underneath price, and for the last, and this stock has been selling off for almost a year and a half, and it looks like it's plateaued. It looks like it's trying to climb again, but it's just finding it hard to break that $25 mark. It's tried once, it's tried twice, it's tried thrice. I think it's going to happen this next time. I'm pretty. I wouldn't say I'm confident. Let me not say that. I don't want to jinx it, but I think it's going to happen this next time. So what I did was that, let me go down to the 2-hour chart. I entered the long position. Now I entered the long position. The reason why I entered the long position because I saw opportunity here. It tried to hit the 25, came back down, and then tried again. Now if you go from here to here, and then go from here to here, you can see that it's like gearing up to go up one more time. It kind of flatlines, but remember this is Friday afternoon, so a lot of people take profits on Friday afternoon. So it's all, sometimes you can, if a stock's making a slightly much of a bull run on the Friday afternoon, when it gets close to that 8-9 o'clock, well, UK time, but I'm sure it's what's that, like 5 o'clock US time, people, day traders will probably sell out of their positions, so that stock could maybe flatline a little bit. But I expect Monday for it to carry on trying to make that bullish charge again to 25. Now I entered at a really favourable position. I can't remember off the top of my head where I entered, but I think it was about $23, $23.5, something like that. But that means it's really tight. So the stop loss I set was literally at like $22.80, really tight stop loss. So for me, I'm not risking much. I'm risking, let's say 30-40 pips for a potential minimum 160 pips. So that's like a 5-to-1 risk to reward ratio. So that's something I'm happy taking, to be honest, because it's a very small amount I'm risking in comparison to the upside of the potential gains I can make. So I expect on Monday that this kind of climbs to 25. It may hit 25 and then come back down again because it couldn't break through. But I think this time it's going to break through. But I'll see how it goes. If it hits 25 and it looks like it's going to retrace, I'll raise my stop loss, and then if it hits it, then I'll just exit my position. If it breaks through, then I'll be happy to just see it ride out some more. But this is a position I've already taken on Friday, so we'll see Monday how it turns out. And last but not least, Momo. Momo is a position that so Momo is an interesting one. On the daily chart, it looks very simple, it looks very kind of straightforward, converging wedge. I caught it here, and I told people that this was a great place to short, and I was right, because if you shorted it from the peak, you would have made about 570 pips and risked pretty much next to nothing, because you would have set stop loss just above this line. But then it retraced. If I had taken this position, the minute it started retracing, I would have sold it out of it because of where it retraced. It retraced and found the support at the 180-day simple moving average on the daily chart. So I wouldn't have been comfortable holding on to the position if I thought it was going to retrace so that it could break out to the upside. So that's how I would have played it, but I didn't take a position in this. But now it's retraced back. I said in my last video, it might kiss this support resistance line again and then sell off, or it might break through it. But I need to see what it's going to do and have a good understanding of what it's going to do. So as it stands right now, it looks like it came close to the resistance line and looks like it's going to sell off, but I need more confirmation. I want it to actually either touch it or just carry on selling off. If it carries on selling off, then it might be a good short position. But right now, it's a wait and see kind of scenario because, it's just a wait and see. You don't want to take any rash decisions, make any rash decisions while you're waiting to see what happens. The MACD and RSI look both quite indecisive, so I can't really tell what they're going to do. RSI looks like it's going to sell off. MACD's kind of not made the decision yet, but I do think it will probably sell off to the downside, and this was a little double top, and it will sell off to here. But we'll just wait and see for now. It's better to just lose a couple of pips and just be confirm which direction this price is going than entering a bit too early and then it just breaks out. Even though if you enter now, the what you'd be risking would be quite small in comparison to what you can gain. But I want to make sure that it's selling off. So that's me, aka the Noctrader, signing out.